back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And together we are
Ryan and John.
on the couch as always. Annie the Skovmand.
There we go.
Unfortunately, Cara Tafolla is out tonight.
Yeah, she is.
Filling in for her as producer. Boney, this Bones Skelly bro. What's his name again? Chester the Bones Skellington.
Classic.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Hey,
There he is.
How you doing there, Chester? Merry Christmas. I'm great. I'm glad to be sharing a sweater with Annie the Skovmand.
Oh, Chester.
Wow,
Wow.
easy. Hey, watch the
Chill
hands
out,
there.
man.
Watch the
Hands.
hands there. Are our cameras particularly dark to you, John?
No, they look great to me.
Okay, is it just my eyes?
No, that Ryan's definitely does look dark.
He looks a little dark, but it's a dark episode.
You know what? We're really sad.
John says, no, they look great to me
John's-
as he's
no.
wearing sunglasses.
No, I don't think so. Those look
Like,
good.
that looks great
Same
to
as they
me.
always do.
That's
Well,
always
listen,
that dark.
Merry Christmas, you guys. We're right in the thick of Christmas Christmas season. And
Christmas
as you know,
time.
Christmas is, well, it's a time full of love, right? But it's also a time full of mystery.
Oh.
A time full of answering questions. You know, do you guys have
Okay.
any Christmas
Okay.
questions?
Right.
Some
Right
unanswered
before we
Christmas
started, it was
questions.
like, I have a perfect way to start the episode. I'm not going to tell any of you. And it's really going into it.
Annie, are there any unanswered Christmas questions you have?
Unanswered Christmas questions. Like who?
What's the deal with Yuletide, you know?
Yes. Okay. Well, no.
Go ahead. Let it rip.
Yeah. Why did my question is, why did they make that Spirited movie?
True, that's a good question.
And I'll never get the answer to that.
You know, some Christmas mysteries like how does Santa do it all in one night, right?
Yeah.
Right? Do you have any questions, John?
No, I don't have any looming Christmas questions. No.
Well, unfortunately,
What's
we can't
yours?
answer that, but we can answer a Christmas question tonight. What's figgy pudding? Do you guys know what figgy pudding is?
No idea.
I think I do.
You know, from We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Bring us some figgy pudding and bring us some figgy pudding and bring us some figgy pudding and bring some right here. Right? Figgy
we
pudding.
won't leave
Got
until
it.
we get some. We won't leave it. Yeah, I got it. They're very serious about the figgy pudding.
They're really insistent on the figgy pudding, right?
Yeah.
My best guess,
Okay.
it would be kind of like a fruit cake, but made with figs and baked
Pudding
like
made
bread
from
pudding.
figs.
That's what my guess is.
That's a
what
good
it
guess.
is.
John, do you have
That's
any
what I'd
guesses?
guess.
You're,
Same thing.
you're,
Pudding
you're
made of
copying off
figs?
my answer.
Yeah, I'm
what-
gonna need
what-
an
You're
official
copying my paper.
guess on the record, John. Go ahead.
I think it's a mixed berry fig jam.
Pudding?
Jam.
Jam?
It's jam.
It's a jam.
Since I can't have the same answer.
You
Right,
can't.
right.
I believe it's a bread pudding. He believes it's a jam.
I thought the same thing, maybe like a pudding, made from figs, like like a fig Newton bar.
Is it sex?
No, I don't believe it is because I actually
No.
brought some figgy pudding.
No,
The good
you
people at the
didn't.
Spam Company have been selling this year, I think for the first time, figgy pudding.
That is terrifying.
And we're going
Ryan,
to try some
I
tonight
thought you said
on
you
broadcast.
needed spoons because you were going to play the spoons.
No,
like
no,
like
no.
a bulky star.
No.
Figgy pudding ASMR. Here we go.
No.
Hold on, let me get your camera. There you go.
For the listeners, I'm holding what looks like a normal Spam can, but I'm led to believe that the contents are, in fact, real figgy pudding.
But
Okay, that was so satisfying.
Just
What's it
like
smell
dog food.
What does it smell like?
oh my
I'm going to
god.
kick it over to John.
Is it figgy pudding or is it spam flavored figgy
I
pudding?
was under the impression it was figgy pudding.
We're not eating this. I hope.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
okay.
we are. We
Come
have
on.
spoons, John.
Come on.
We have spoons.
This is definitely
Smell it.
meat.
No, just smell it.
It's meat. It is.
It's spam.
Fig,
Well-
it is fig flavored spam. I'm
I'm going to
not
pass you
eating
guys some
cold
spoons here.
spam.
John, here you go.
not
Annie.
eating
In the name
Go
of
ahead.
science, we
Pass that
have
one
to.
to
We
Annie.
have to, Annie.
Annie, just pass it back over here.
Ready?
We'll do it
It's
first.
fully
Here we go.
cooked, ready to eat.
Oh, she
Can I
wants to
read
try
it?
You want to try first, Annie?
You really did not.
Read the back.
You did
Read the
not
back, read
even
the back.
Read the
this.
back. Read it. Read
What does it say?
Read it. Read it.
It says ingredients: pork and ham. So it's Spam.
No, it's figgy pudding flavored Spam.
Yeah, it's figgy pudding flavored Spam.
This
Okay,
is so
you're right.
rough.
I did not. In fact,
that's
read it.
I would have been had the same reaction.
Listen. I found out about this from the radio. Okay, and the radio was like, "Oh, this year Spam is selling figgy pudding." So
You went out.
I just went on to Walmart.com.
Had it shipped to
All
the
right,
house.
get over here. I brought it into this world. Oh no, she's going for it. She's going for it. Go ahead, Annie. Yeah, just get a nice little
Annie.
chunk out.
Annie.
Come on, you can do better than that.
No.
Come
No,
on.
do better
I
than that.
can't.
Do better than
Get a
that.
good scoop out of there.
No.
All right.
All right, pass it over to John. Here we go.
It's
Oh my
Figgy
gosh.
Spam.
John,
Go
that's
ahead, John.
huge.
Are
John,
you gonna
Hit that.
You
Are you
can't
gonna do
eat
the same?
that.
Of course.
I want to see how much you're going to do because I want to match you, of course.
Are
there
you
we
guys
go.
gonna throw up?
No.
It's
It actually.
it
You know
smells
what?
like something
Vienna,
specific.
Vienna sausages. You ever
Vienna
had
sausages are very similar, yes.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Figgy pudding Spam.
Oh. It's not so. All right, hold on. Let's do this.
It's moist beef jerky with cinnamon.
This is literally cat food. Maybe it's cinnamon that I'm smelling.
It's figgy pudding.
It smells good, like
flavored
it's a
Spam.
Christmas.
Ew, when you said cat food, I like immediately.
You felt it in your
Blech.
bones. Well, Ryan, that
So,
sucked.
what is figgy pudding?
Ryan, put it down.
Ryan's like, wait, hold on. What is this?
If you cook it,
It tastes a lot different than it smells.
I don't think I've had Spam in a long time, so I
Spam?
kind of forgotten what that.
This is definitely not.
no, that's Spam.
I guess it is.
That is, they just put
Okay.
spices in it.
Can you Google what figgy pudding
I got
is?
it right here. Figgy pudding is a vague term. Figgy pudding.
I'm sorry. After all this, you didn't even know what the hell it was.
Figgy pudding is a vague term used for a class of traditional Christmas dishes, usually forming sweets and savory cakes containing sour, sweet, creamy layers of honey, fruit, and nuts. So it's basically like fruit cake.
fruitcake.
It's like a general term
Damn,
for fruit
and he
cake.
got it right. Trusty.
It says fully cooked, ready to eat, hot or cold.
It
so,
is because it's preserved.
Ingredients: pork with
It won't
ham,
kill you.
sugar, water, salt.
In later times, rum and other distilled alcohols became often added to enrich the fruitiness of the flavor.
It's like fruitcake.
So it's not Spam.
I'm really having a hard
not.
time with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's
How it's sitting in your tum tum.
yeah, it's like
You
not
took
well.
Such a big
I don't know. It looked like Vienna sausage.
Have another bite. You want another bite?
Ryan, no.
right there.
But I will say you should empty it out, and that should be decor.
Yeah.
I'll allow that.
Yeah, we are constantly getting.
Guys, when I ordered it, it came with 2 cans. So I've got 2 cans of it. So
In the back picture of it is like it with the charcuterie board, which I could see if you.
I'm
cooked
gonna say
it.
the smell is starting to offend. I'm not gonna lie. I'm right there with you. I'm like that. It's now I've got cat food in my head. Please.
Wow.
Figgy pudding.
This brings up a good question.
Okay.
Is figgy pudding is obviously a general term, as we know, for fruitcake, a traditional holiday sweet or dish. Is there a traditional holiday dish in your family that you believe to be unique
To the holidays.
to the holidays or to you or to your family? Well, like, do you make something around the holidays? Is there like a grandma's, snickerdoodle cookies that
It's funny you bring
come
that up
around?
because we were talking about this just moments before the podcast.
And I'm a podcaster.
And I'm gonna
thank you.
I'm gonna bring Annie in on this conversation.
Okay.
Traditionally speaking, my Aunt Joanne would make a toffee. You know when I say toffee, like
Yeah.
it's just like the brittle,
caramel, and
it's
then
got
you break
chocolate
it
on
up.
top, and it's got
Almond roca.
pecans.
Oh,
Kind
pecan
of like
roca.
almond roca, but a little bit different because this stuff was like crack for years and years and years. I grew up eating
Drugs.
Aunt Joanne's almond roca, and I don't feel bad because
Drugs.
I know she's never gonna listen to this, watch this. So
Oh, Aunt Joanne.
eventually,
sucked.
the recipe changed.
You're gonna regret that.
I think it's because she was with a guy named George, and I think George his teeth weren't so good. And so I think she started using like Splenda or something. The toffee became really soft. And then, and now George is no longer with us. Rest in peace, George. But she still makes it the same way. And it's just like not the same, you know? It's not the same toffee. So I've been on this quest this year for Christmas to make the toffee. I was like, I'm going to get like recipes online. I'm going to find out whatever her secret was. Turns out it's just toffee, just normal toffee, just sugar and butter. You just,
He was saying that the recipe was a lot easier than...
it's just regular sugar and regular butter, and you mix it up. And as long as you don't, you can have toffee if you want. And I was like immediately brought back to childhood today when I've been making toffee
you made
today.
it?
I made it today.
You've been a little
chef.
culinary art.
Oh, thank you.
To answer the question, no.
Nothing? Nothing? Really?
Nothing traditionally Christmas.
My dad would make yams. But there was never like, no.
I'd go for some yams right now.
Like he would make like these buttery yams and we only really have them twice a year, Christmas, Thanksgiving. But like, no, there was never, like my family was not the culinary kind. There was
Not the baking or the
grandma
cooking
don't
or
make nothing. If you go over to her house around dinner time, I was talking to someone actually earlier today. They were talking about how their grandma would just like feed them and feed them and feed them. And my grandma's like, only made enough for 2. You're not eating.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, ma'am.
That's weird because that's like a traditionally grandma like attribute is to
Right.
like make a bunch of food.
Oh, you're here.
and there's way
Let me
too
make
much
you some
food.
food, right?
Oh, my grandma's cutthroat.
Dang.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
I don't know what family member made this. This memory just kind of came to me. But thumbprint cookies, you know those ones where it has like the little tiny dot of jelly, either raspberry or
Yes.
strawberry jelly.
Oh, okay.
And they're like kind of a plain sugar cookie, but they have the center.
A little dot.
Yeah.
They're called thumbprint cookies, I think. And I want to say one of my grandmas made them, but I really have a distinct memory of that. And also, I know for a fact my grandma made a bunch of cookies, like would make them like sugar cookies,
All different
cut them
kinds?
out, cut like
Or like Christmas
like the
cookies?
Christmas cookies, and
Got it.
decorate them. And she would beautifully decorate a lot of them too.
That's sweet.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I feel like that was always like a stereotype in like TV and movies is like, oh, the fruit cake is like so gross.
I've
You
never
guys
had
ever-
fruitcake.
I've never had fruitcake either. I don't
maybe
think
we
I have.
try it next week.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring in some fruitcake.
But don't get the spam
The
fruitcake. I
spam
swear to God.
variety.
The spam. He brings in. I thought this was a can
if you
of
look at the
fruit cake.
picture, I get how you looked at it and said that's a cake. But if you
It's got a
actually
picture
look
of
at it,
figgy pudding on
no,
it.
if you look at it, it's slices of spam lined up together.
On the back.
No, on the
No, it
front.
is.
It slices of
is.
spam
Oh,
lined up.
no.
to
It
look
says
like a
serving
cake.
suggestion. Like this is how you're supposed to serve it.
To serve like it's a figgy
Look,
pudding.
so it looks like a figgy pudding.
No.
Annie, if you were there, I'm so glad
Can
my
I see
wife's
it?
not
Can I see
here.
this?
I'm so glad Kara's not here. She'd have my house right now for sure. That is so stupid.
I was like,
Oh, you're right. Look at that.
oh,
It's beautiful.
Wow. It's
Hey guys,
beautiful.
if you're listening, watching right now, and
Serving
you're considering
suggestion.
Don't tell Kara.
figgy pudding spam,
Don't.
just don't. Just
No,
don't
here-
do it.
I want to. What I'd like to do
Go ahead.
is prepare it differently. I think we take the second
Oh, I
can.
love- look,
and
I
we
love
make a
spam.
charcuterie board,
Yeah.
and we just like make it happen.
I'm busy that day.
Are you?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe you're not.
No, I am really busy. Wow.
What's in your cup over there?
My cup, it is a hibiscus LaCroix.
Boo.
Hibiscus.
Fun fact about spam.
Okay.
Oh,
Hawaii loves spam, right?
Yes, indeed.
And one time I went to Oahu and it was Spam Jam, the yearly spam festival.
Wow.
And they were making everything with spam. It was crazy.
I love spam. I love spam fried. We make spam fried rice. We make spam and eggs in our house.
yeah.
Spam's a staple.
Spam.
You like spam, Jen?
Yeah, I do. I like
Not like this, but-
what's I don't know what the dish is called, but it has like a thing of rice and a layer of spam, and then it's wrapped
It
in like
is a spam musubi.
those
a
are bomb.
spam musubi.
Those are bomb. I don't know how authentic it is, but
No,
It's
pretty-
very authentic. You can
authentic
find
to
those
Hawaii.
at pretty much any
ABC
Hawaiian
store.
liquor store, ABC store.
I don't know that
corner
I
joint.
had one in Hawaii, but I don't know where it was from. I don't think it was from an ABC store. I think it was from a
a
restaurant.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like teriyaki. Some
was so
people will
good.
like zhuzh them up and
Yeah.
make them kind of like,
Like the bougie ones.
they'll
Yeah,
put
yeah,
like teriyaki
yeah.
chicken on them or something.
yeah,
and-
there's bomb. It's good.
yeah, very good. So the spam jam, when is that? When are we going?
I don't know, but it was a happy accident. And it was magical to see the love that people have for Spam. And they have their mascot is out there.
Spammy.
It's a can of Spam.
He's spammy, yeah.
And
Classic
it's
Spammy.
I imagine it's spammy.
something like that.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Great.
But Spam, they tried to sue the first like email company that started like the spam folder. They
No
did.
way.
That's a
No
true story.
way.
They tried to sue them
The
for
spam
defamation.
company tried to sue AOL, I'm
Like,
guessing.
it's whatever company really started it. Yeah, like
Yeah,
AOL, whatever.
sure.
When the spam folder got invented.
Wow.
Limited edition.
That's bold. That is bold.
Because they thought it was
How
bad
long
marketing.
has the spam company been
That-
around?
Probably 1940s.
something?
I think it's like a World War II thing.
Yeah,
And that's why it's like a thing in Hawaii. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so. Also, it was easy to ship out to Hawaii.
Yeah. Because it's like the
This is
military
good.
base that
This
was
is
stationed
good
there.
until when do you think?
Oh, I know. I
Oh,
read
it's one of
it.
those nuclear things. So that
Remember, it's limited edition, so it's not the hearty spam you're used to.
Maybe the normal spam lasts longer. I'm going to say that one's good till 2025.
You looked at it.
Guess?
No. Did you?
Yeah, I read 2025.
Yeah, 2025 on there.
Wow. For 3
Wow.
years, you can
Gotta
still
eat it up.
consume that. What month? Just so I can put it in the
Guess.
I
schedule.
believe it's
Guess.
December.
No. Guess.
August.
August. Yep.
I read it.
Wow. We have till the summer of
Of
25.
2025 to
To eat
finish
this,
that.
the rest of this can.
Yep.
I'm gonna start
Yeah, well, that
sneaking it
one's
into your
open, but
food.
my other can.
Your
Yeah,
We'll
the other
save
one.
until then.
The other one, yeah, of course.
other can.
Well,
You
hey,
should
speaking
sell it
of
online.
nuclear,
Oh God.
kind of big stuff in the news today. Do you know what I'm talking about, Annie?
No.
The second of the 4 sister wives of Cody Brown has left.
That's not it. That's
Yeah,
not
but that is big
that is
news.
big news, though.
it. Go ahead. Yep. I had a great segue.
Elon
do your
Musk-
thing.
do your
Do your
thing.
thing. Do your
Elon Musk
thing.
is no longer the richest man in the world.
Is
Is
that
that
it?
true? No, that's not my nuclear thing.
That's true. I read it
Wait.
today.
Okay, damn,
Okay.
Ryan, what's your nuclear
One at a time.
thing?
Annie, you start. Go
Okay,
ahead.
Cody Brown, the man who we all know from the TV show Sister Wives on
We're talking
TLC.
about the TLC show,
Yeah,
Sister
TLC.
Wives.
They've been going on for like however many years. It was on TV when we were kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had 3 wives. It was a big whole thing. He married a 4th wife when we were kids.
Oh, that's right.
They're
Robin's
fundamental
the new one.
Mormons, right?
Yes, to a degree. They're in some sect of it where you can not have to dress like a prairie woman. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some part of the Mormon church in which they still believe in polygamy. Well, earlier this year, he had his first wife. One of his wives just divorced him. She was like,
She was the first one, wasn't she?
She was the first one to leave. She wasn't his first wife.
that's
She
poor
was
Who
Dan.
was his first one?
his first one, like a couple years ago, was the one that got catfished. She started cheating on him
Oh.
and got catfished online.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was
That is
crazy. So that was
really-
his first
So
wife.
one shaky, one gone. So now he's down to 3.
So earlier this year, his third wife divorced him, which
Wow.
it's not a legal marriage. So she literally was just like, "We're divorced,"
I'm
and then
leaving.
left. Yeah,
Not a legal marriage.
no,
No,
he's
you can
only legally married to one.
One woman. The rest of them are just like spiritual marriages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
that makes sense.
So she divorces him, right? And then it just came out that his second wife, so
Ooh.
his first
Number
wife,
2 of 4.
his first wife cheated on him but stayed.
Okay.
Because she got catfished.
Because of all the money.
Second wife is named Janelle. Third wife, Christine, left, divorced
Earlier
him.
this year.
And then his fourth wife, his favorite wife, which is like part of it, his new wife, Robin.
Robin, yeah. Robin.
So Christine left. Janelle, it just came out
Number
in their
2.
new season. Wife number 2, they're separated,
yeah.
and she's leaving him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be drastic going down from 4 to 2. I mean,
You're losing
and
numbers fast.
he in the new show, he even said, he's like, and I don't even have an interest of having a relationship with Mary, which is his first wife. So it's like, the man
he
just
doesn't
take
even
the
care
one.
for Mary.
Doesn't even like her.
I mean,
he's a full blown
if he
narcissist.
liked his first wife, he wouldn't have gotten a second wife, right?
Oh no,
Right? I mean, if he liked her, he would have been like, hey, let's add, right?
The only real love is the
No.
latest one, is what you're saying? Robin,
Well,
number
that-
4 is
I
the
guess
only
what
one
I'm
you're-
saying
that
is
his
yes.
favorite one.
Yeah,
Sure.
So it
That's
sounds
his
like
favorite
yes.
wife.
I mean, that's his favorite wife.
I just love it because I kind of felt like when we were kids, that show was like,
They're trying to be like, this is a normal, cool thing you can do.
it was like the first public like display of like
Polygamy.
this is a lifestyle that can be had. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying?
Yeah.
For better or for worse, like this is something.
I don't
And
think it
was
necessarily
polarizing.
portrayed it in like a positive light, though.
Oh no,
I
it was
feel like-
very. It was. I don't think so at all.
It was the macabre. Like we only did it to look at them and go, "Oh, those idiots! Why
That's
are they
how
doing
I
that?"
feel. And I was just watching over at the Pinnings recently, and it's just bizarre to me. Like I can't wrap my brain around it. Like
yeah.
physically. Like I'm like it just kind of doesn't compute for me. Like
the
that-
show specifically, or polygamy.
the
in
show,
general?
the concept, all of it. Yeah,
Well,
really.
okay, so one of his, my TikTok has been overcome with this.
Okay.
I have a
And
story about TikTok.
For other reasons.
it had a a clip from one of the first seasons.
Okay.
And then I heard that one of his wives, her mom is one of his dad's sister wives. So they're technically
No.
siblings. Oh. And I was
Wait,
like,
Wait. One of his wives,
yes.
his mother,
So Janelle
is married to
the
his father.
the second wife's mother is married to Cody's dad. Spiritually, she is one of his however many
Oh, not
wives.
exclusively. Like
Yeah, like,
it's like
Well,
one
he's
of
got a couple
he's
wives.
also
One of
got
his
a couple.
wives.
wives.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, they were
He's not
raised
like a
in it.
trailblazer.
How many wives do you have again?
Just the one.
Oh, okay.
Just the
okay.
one.
As of now, but
Spiritually,
rumor has it,
I mean,
he's looking
the
for a
sky's the
second.
limit, right? But
Spiritually-
legally speaking, I've got the one.
Spiritually,
Yeah.
Who
right,
knows?
right.
Yeah, you need to collect them to get your way into heaven.
we've kind of had a conversation about the poly lifestyle.
Sure.
And it is really hard to understand. No hate towards the lifestyle, of course.
No,
but
and-
it's really hard for me
I should
personally.
say people are doing it right now, and they find their rhythms and
Yeah.
great. I have a hard time personally. I'll use my me I wording here. I have a hard time with like I feel like exclusivity is so important to not just a marriage, but like a relationship. Like if you're not focused on one person, like then it's not really about your commitment to that person. It's more about all the other things, like the physical aspect of it, the sexual aspect of
Yeah.
it. And that's people also live their lives that way. Or like, oh yeah, I have multiple partners and I'm into hookup culture, and that works for them. But I just
Yeah.
feel like when we're talking about in a committed relationship, it kind of gets foggy for me. What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
No, I think I think it's good we're having this conversation
Yeah.
because I think it is kind of touchy because lots of people now are coming out and are living in this specific style and it seems to be it seems to be working to some degree. But yeah, I'm the same way. Like I saw a TikTok, and this isn't necessarily, there's lots of iterations of a poly lifestyle too.
Right.
So we're not, I mean, I there's lots of different ways you can be poly. And so it's hard to like say the word poly and whatever.
Sure. Okay.
But I saw one TikTok where this woman was like, me and my husband have been non-monogamous for 12 years. And so what she's saying is they've been legally married, but they separately have had boyfriends and girlfriends like for the whole length of their 12-year marriage. And she was telling this stories, like this quirky little story about how she and her husband accidentally double dated, and just because like of the timing of things, and that it was awkward and weird because like they didn't know how to act in front of their dates, but then also like the dates were kind of like it was and that to me was kind of like
That's like the poly nightmare.
right yeah it's like but
I
then
assume.
I was just like looking, I was just like, that to me is crazy. And the way you put it, yeah, I think is really rings really true about like, when you have multiple partners or multiple things, you're juggling those things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And it's hard to focus on one particular. So like, you're right. I mean, where does the line get drawn on commitment?
I think it's George Carlin has a bit about threesomes, and it's like there's always one person that's just like
There.
also there. Like
Yeah.
it's never like the person that wanted the threesome, like it just wanted to cheat, but like it's like a bit like that. Maybe it's not George Carlin, but it's like that kind of thing. And I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm sure people are having very successful threesomes all over the country right now. But the point being, go ahead.
I've never met someone in a I don't want to say like healthy polyamorous relationship or polygamous relationship, because I don't think I've ever seen one that has like really run smoothly, and that just could be the people I've known who've tried it.
Sure.
But it's funny because like Christians will argue like, oh, it's unnatural to have more than one wife. Well, the Bible has so many cases of that.
And
so it's
like I said, I don't want to like, I'm not like the champion of that, or like
Go ahead.
being, you know, marriage being like a pillar in the social hierarchy. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to put off that vibe of like two people, but
and
you know.
I think a lot of societies have made it work really well, because in other places it's like very common.
Yeah.
But
And sexuality is so much more fluid in other countries too. Like I think the US still has a lot of taboo, and maybe that's a piece of
we're
that I'm
very
still holding
rigid.
on to. Like you can't possibly, you know, and like, yeah, so in a lot of like greater Europe, it's like so much more free, and you know, we've talked about like nudity before and like sexuality and everything, and maybe that's just
and like
old man brain.
I think there's like part of it, like one of the sister wives said this whole thing kind of talking about the other one leaving, and was like, now we're gonna like just be friends, you know, we have this shared life experience. And I'm like, I guess that would kind of be cool in some aspect of like, you have these people to kind of talk shit about this person with, of like, does he do that weird thing in bed with you guys? Like, you know, like
that is to me that feels an absolute non-starter.
Oh,
like,
I 1000% would be like, have you guys ever seen that, like, when he does this, like, it's weird,
Debriefing?
right? And then it's like, everyone would talk about it. Or I was like, have you ever just, like, looked at him? Like, he looks weird sometimes, huh? Like, I fully would take that opportunity to be like, trauma bonding. Like,
I don't think they've thought that through, because they're also in the situation. So I think they're probably just like, oh yeah, he's great.
well,
Like,
obviously,
look, in
that's
regards
not
to
the
this,
case.
polygamy is not working for them. I'll
Not
just
for
say
them.
it. In Sister Wives, it's not working for them, because all the shit they talk about him, it's like that they're even married to, that they're even hanging out with him is like crazy. They do, because they do. They're like, yeah, he's weird, right? Like, oh yeah. Oh, and then there's clearly a favorite, and they clearly like know that's the favorite, and it's like, okay, the episode I was watching was like, oh, dad's gonna go spend the night at mom number 4's house, and like mom number 3 was all pissed because he was at mom number 3's house all weekend, and it's like she, you know, caught feelings basically. It's like, and she was like, I just have to remember, like, hey, this is the deal, like gaslighting herself, you know?
Of course, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like that's just like part of our relationship, is like he's got a lot of
share.
love to give, this guy, and it's like it cuts to him and he's like, you've seen him. you know?
Yeah.
He does probably have a lot of love to give, but I don't know,
What's-
man.
A lot.
What I'm excited about for this next chapter of Sister Wives,
You're
is
really invested, it
I
sounds
fully
like.
think that there will be a spin-off show with the two wives that have left.
And
Because
it's
they
called-
were like,
it's called
they were
Escaping
the
Sister Wives.
favorites. And no, like
That's
like
kinda
a
beautiful.
spin-off show of them now trying to enter the dating game, and like after all these years, you know, like going back in the field, and you keep like
Back in the field.
like
Back in the
Back
field.
in the dating
but, like,
world.
Lock and
like,
load,
their
we're
kids
going
were
back
the ones
in.
that were always kind of like the fan favorite. So like just
Sure.
like their lives, and then like every once in a while those other people will show up because like they share children and whatnot.
How much can they make on that show?
Oh.
I gotta know.
That's their millions.
You
they're
think so?
fine.
Is
Well, they built the
TLC getting
compound.
Actually, no.
the same money
I'm
that it
pretty
did in the
sure-
early 2000s?
No, there's also
No way.
Speaking of TLC drama, the Gosling kids,
You're talking about the Kate plus 8 family?
K+8 family, John and Kate +8, all of them are over 18 now.
It's crazy. Did we talk about that on the show?
No, but one of them spoke out against his
Yes.
mom.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy. Basically, he was like,
No.
my mom used us
Okay,
always.
hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Crazy.
the one son was like, yeah, the mom sent him off to boarding school or something, right?
Yeah,
I
or
heard
like
about
sent him out
this.
for
Or
like
committed him.
behavior, yeah, like
Yes.
in a behavioral unit.
And like cut off communication with
Never
John,
visited him.
the dad.
He had to like sneak a letter to John to try to save him.
be like, Dad, I still love you. Mom's cutting off communication. Like,
Yeah.
I want to come live with you.
He hasn't talked to his mom or his other sextuplets or whatever they are
Sextuplets,
yeah.
because there's the twins,
in
right?
like 6 years. It's
Who
crazy.
could have foreseen that going wrong? Those
John.
8 kids
Yeah.
under the microscope.
Those people who were like behind the camera being like,
Their entire
Also,
life growing
I
up.
remember that show being on when we were younger and being like, this show's not even that interesting.
It was weird,
It's-
right?
Oh, I always had it on. My family was glued to it.
It was just interesting because there were so many kids and like Kate was weird
Well, and
and
they
John
were,
was
like-
just like, "Eh."
It was like a
That's
real
the way it
marriage. Like
goes.
they're fighting, and you're like, oh, that's like our family, but they have 8 of them.
yeah, weird,
Weird.
crazy.
But
Yeah.
how much do they make? How much does Sister Wives
Go ahead.
make?
The Brown family specifically.
How much money
Yeah.
they got?
How much do you think they make per episode?
I would say
Per
100K.
episode?
Okay, you're going way too high. You need to
Oh,
chill
too
out.
high?
$1,200.
That's what I mean.
Way
I would
too
have
low.
guessed 100K per episode.
Okay, well then
Are
this
they
isn't
not?
that
They're not
interesting.
like Friends level.
They're making $50,000 an episode.
Okay,
That's not bad.
that's a lot
14
of money.
to 15 episodes.
How many
a year-
episodes
gotta-
a season?
A season,
That's-
14 to 15. So it's approximately 700,000 to
He has
750,000
18 kids.
yearly.
And you got to oh well, that's crazy. I didn't
He
realize
has
that. But you got to
18
remember, I mean,
children.
they're on Utah time, so that money's going a whole lot further.
Yeah,
They've got
than
like the whole
California.
compound to pay for, right?
Well, now
Oh,
they're in
that's true.
Flagstaff, but they like
Oh,
had
are
been,
they?
yeah, they're in Flagstaff. They fled Utah, and then it was a whole thing. Then they were in Vegas for a while, but dang, that's interesting.
I feel like, I mean, that
700.
I guess when you think about how many
$700,000.
people like are on that, like in that family, I guess that's not that much. But I just feel like 50,000. Like imagine shooting a week of your life and you just get 50K. Like that's
Well, it's
But to
I
do
don't
what?
know.
A couple of interviews, and then they just hang out and like go to baseball games, and then the dad
No.
sleeps with all the wives and
I
whatever.
think
Yeah,
he's really
yeah.
only sleeping with one of the wives.
it sounds like he's
yeah,
only
just the one, the favorite. yeah,
favorite
of
wife.
course.
What's her name? Robin.
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 Number 4.
Number 4.
He's given. They've given up names a long time ago, so
I'm
it's
sorry.
just numbers.
I just feel like
Go ahead.
the show, like right now, I've been seeing clips of it,
Yeah, it's real big.
and they're
right now.
so like the women are so surprised. They're like, I just never thought it'd get this way, and I was like, really?
But
Like
they were also raised in that bubble. Like
that's true. A lot of them.
The one of the,
yeah,
the wife
that's
that
true.
left was like, I like shows clips of her in the beginning. She's like, I've always wanted to be a third wife. I've never
just
wanted to be a
crazy.
second
I mean,
wife.
yeah,
I've
that's
never
what it
wanted to be a
is,
first
like
wife.
the
I've
bubble.
always wanted to be. She's like, my mom was a third wife, and I loved my family. And also, like,
There's a show called. There's a different show on. Where is it? I don't even know.
it's not called Sister Wives.
It's called
Wife
Seeking.
Sisters.
It's called Seeking Sister Wives.
Where they're trying to be a
it's-
sister
it's-
wife?
Yeah, so it's either a couple or I've never
There's
seen
a
a
dating site
throuple,
for one.
but they always and honestly, the show, in my opinion, is so more realistic because you see them like get a second wife,
Okay.
or it's always a second wife. It's
Yeah.
never a second husband. It's always a second wife, and
Look
That's
at me.
just shocking.
and then like next season you'll get an update and be like,
It didn't work out.
didn't work out.
Is he with wife number 1 or number 2 in that situation?
And that he's with his original wife. It like they'll bring another wife in and it'll work
we
for
tried.
like,
It didn't work.
and they have like a full wedding, like a full thing.
crazy.
And what I will say, the one thing I noticed is that every single family that's shown on the show, the dad or the man in this situation always makes so much money. Like he has like some job that is so mysterious that makes a lot of money. He's like, yeah, he supports the whole family. I'm like, how do you support 3
Maybe-
wives?
I mean-
and I can't even support one. Just kidding.
Okay, so maybe
That's true. She
maybe,
supports you.
Yeah, it's true. She
Maybe
does.
that's kind of the whole thing, right? Is like I'm gonna just attach on this rich idiot is saying he's gonna buy me a house, and I have no prospects, I have no
I don't even
children.
have to see him all the time because he has another wife he goes to.
I don't even have to see him all the time. I can just like be a little homemaker. I can he can pay for all my stuff. If that's like your
Gosh.
bag.
If
Am
that's
I
your
trying to be a
bag.
sister
Wait a
wife?
minute.
Wait a minute,
Annie
minute.
seeking sister wife?
Annie, seeking sister wife, coming to you soon.
Wow.
Crap! Oh my god, that sounds great. Sign me up.
Okay, deal.
Okay,
So we're
well,
now
fine.
not only are we looking for a potential mate, we're looking for a potential couple to add you to. Is that what we're doing?
Do you want to be number
No,
2?
I want to be a third wife.
You want to be 3?
Yeah.
You want to be a third wife? I think
I don't
honestly
know.
it'd be good to be number 1 because then you can have those first couple of glory years, and then the situation changes, and you're like,
I mean,
I think-
actually, I changed my mind. I want to be 4. I want to be fourth
No,
wife.
no, you
He's-
don't. No, you
then I
don't. I'll
only
tell
have
you
to see
why.
him, like,
You don't
one-
want to.
there's a
once
whole
week, like, one
coalition
week a
already
month.
out to get you. They're like,
I think the money spot is 2 because here's why.
okay.
gets a second wife.
Yep.
It's all fun and games. He's on to the third. And think about the newest wife has to do the most amount. You know what I'm saying? Of
Does she?
work. I feel like
Probably. It's
I
like
think-
the new toy.
I think
it's
number
like a hierarchy thing.
I think number 3 is the money, and here's why.
Okay, all right.
By his first and second were like now the training wheels are off. Now he knows
Yeah.
how to have a third
Multiple
wife.
wives.
Oh, that's
He's like,
interesting.
I figured it out. I know exactly what to say to you to make you, gaslight you. You believe it completely. And the other two, like, they're like still trying to figure it out. They're like, wait, what? What's going on? By the time 4 comes around, you're buddies with 1 and 2.
So you're in
And
the
they're like,
circle.
yeah, we hate 4. You're like, yeah, fuck 4. We hate her.
That's what I'm saying. I think 3 is my money spot.
Yes.
3 is going to be the money.
Yes.
3 is
I'm
definitely the
looking
money.
So
Seeking-
correct. Dang it, I hate how right you are.
Seeking to be a 4th
I'm seeking to be a third sister
in the
wife.
relationship.
I
Wow.
love that we just chose what sister wife we would be.
Yeah. No,
I would
I mean,
be
it's just
3.
logistics, It's not even about
It's not even about love or
No,
feelings.
it's
or
not.
marriage.
It's all about
it
what's
was a
gonna-
financial decision.
Well, yeah. It's,
And that's probably the sad truth of this whole thing is these people
Yeah.
are like lonely and just want somebody to connect up to.
no,
Yeah.
it's
It's a rough one.
blood. Anyway, what was your crazy thing in the world?
Speaking of nuclear, yeah, I remember.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, remember that?
Oh,
Way
gosh.
back when.
You had something to say, didn't you?
You guys, today, I'm going to date this podcast. Today is December 13th, 2022. And it seems to be a historic day because they've made a breakthrough in nuclear fusion electricity, nuclear
heard about
fusion
this.
power.
What the hell does that mean?
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Nuclear fusion, I did some research today. It's basically like when atoms smash into each other, it gives off a lot of energy. It's basically like,
What they made the bomb out of?
it's kind of like what they made like nukes out of. And it happens apparently a lot on the sun. Like the sun is like this big ball of gas and all day long the nuclear fusion's making the sun light up, right?
Yeah.
It's a thing that they can synthesize and they've been working on it since the 1950s, 1940s, since we had the nuke. And they finally have crossed the threshold where it's making more power than it takes to do. Are you researching this right now, Johnny? You're just looking at
No, he's
like,
texting his second.
No,
his
I
second wife.
am. No, yeah, I heard about this.
Jordan and Borden.
Jordan. Number 2's Borden.
Yeah.
Seems a little
I'm
on the
looking
nose,
for
eh?
a Borden.
Seeking Borden. This is a big deal, people. Look,
That's funny.
Clean energy is
Clean
happening,
energy.
and we're gonna see it in our lifetime, probably.
Hey, you know what? I don't care if there are nukes in my car. I'm still putting gas
It's
in
not
it.
about the nukes.
Okay, Annie, enough with the gas. Like, what the heck
Yeah, she
is
loves
going
gas.
on?
She's a gas girl.
I'm a gas
She's
gal.
proven herself
I'm a gas
time and time
gal.
again to
I'm
be a gas
third
gal.
wife.
No, I think it's it's not even that much of a margin regarding how much it takes, and how much it produces as far as energy goes.
Yes.
But the big thing is that they've done it, and that now they can improve upon that margin.
Yes.
To make it so that we don't have to
Because
do
if
solar
it
or whatever.
it
You know,
takes in as much energy as it takes to make it, then it's like, well, there's no
net
point in
zero,
doing
right?
it because it's like a wheel, you
Yeah.
know. But now they're making
because
power.
they've made that narrow margin, that now they know, okay, if we can improve upon this, we can make that margin slightly larger, and then at some point we're making a lot of energy with using very little
clean energy, Annie. Your car, we're
Clean
taking your
energy.
gas car. Okay.
Did I tell you about
Whatever.
the fusion thing that Bill Gates made?
No.
Oh my gosh.
What'd
Okay,
he do?
this documentary, it's called Inside the Mind of Bill Gates. I think it's really cool. But he talks about solving some of the biggest problems that we have in the world. And the big thing is clean water. There are sections of the world that like still don't have clean water, like, and it's a problem, obviously. And he created this device that takes water, like a water source,
Okay.
and it fully cleans the water, and then you can get fresh water out of these like spigots. And it's like this big device, but they couldn't figure out how to power it because solar power couldn't do it and all that, right? So then he wanted to use fusion.
Okay.
Because he said there's a misconception on fusion and nuclear fusion energy.
Right.
That everyone thinks nuclear is like radiation and like terribleness,
Yes.
and like it could explode at any moment. But the reality is it's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that dangerous, and a lot of people think that it is.
Yeah, apparently like the two chemicals they use are like isotopes of hydrogen, which is like the number one element in the world, like, or in the universe. Like there's so much hydrogen, and it just basically comes out of water.
Yeah,
right?
that's what the atomic bomb was. It was a hydrogen bomb.
Right.
Who told me this? Okay, so it was my brother-in-law Jake, and he was saying that every Navy ship has nuclear reactors, and they're all the Navy ships are powered by it. And they were saying that because the reason that they do that is because the nuclear reactors, that what's powering it, whatever the fusion portion that's happening, it's on the underside of the ship, and the water in the ocean is always like relatively cold. And that cold temperature is what keeps the nuclear fusion at a stable rate. And that's why Hiroshima, when they had that huge, explosion and then like radiation poisoning, you still can't go into that area in Japan. Mm-hmm. And the reason that they had that issue is because they were using heat conducted metal. And so the heat was rather than being diffused by cooling, it was actually getting too hot, and that's what caused the explosion. Wow. That was the big unlocking about nuclear fusion, is that as long as you're keeping the whole thing cool.
You mean in Ukraine?
No, I'm talking about in.
Are you talking about Chernobyl, or are you talking about
Chernobyl? That's what that's what I meant.
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, yes.
That's in Ukraine, isn't it?
That is. It's in the Ukraine.
And that's the whole thing that they unlocked about
too hot.
Nuclear fission is that if it gets too hot, that's when it becomes volatile and explosive. But with these ships,
put all these nuclear reactors on the bottom of boats at the bottom of the ocean,
because the cool water regulates it, and it never gets to a dangerous element.
Isn't that the way we woke up Godzilla, though? Isn't that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
in that movie, they put nukes or something in the water and they wake them up.
Sure, I've never seen Godzilla, shockingly. But that sounds right, sure.
Nobody saw it happened, Annie. It's not a movie. It's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
God.
It's a docu-series on Netflix.
It's a docudrama. They
8
took
episodes.
some liberties, okay?
Dang. Okay, so nuclear fusion.
Yeah, because the Navy has a patent on compact nuclear fusion reactors.
Oh, okay, they have a patent.
Oh, that's the whole problem. You know what? As soon as that gets declassified, we're going to have nuclear economies, right?
You can't just freaking
The Navy's been using it for years.
That's the whole thing with like satellite TV. It was like they declassified satellites, and then it was like, boom, like we have the internet.
Yeah, screw that. You can't.
That's usually how it happens. Don't tell me I'm wrong, John.
No, I just love you
know what I'm talking about.
They just declassified it, and then
boom,
bam, the internet. Done. That was it.
Wow.
More or less. There were some details in between.
Really cool stuff. And like you said, it is a big breakthrough for, the world.
Clean energy. We're going to save the world.
Because someday and this is the thing that I was just talking about. Well, okay. Have I told you that the dump, really spirals me a little bit? Have you ever been to the dump?
I've been to the dump.
Seeing the mountains of trash is so alarming. And every time I go to with somebody or I go to drop stuff off, I'm
you
always
hang out at the dump, don't you?
No, I don't.
Sometimes.
I could never. It seriously freaks me out. Like the idea that we're just amassing so much waste and trash, and nobody seemingly there are companies that are trying to do better about that, but the big companies, the companies that could make a huge difference, they don't give a crap about.
Oh, literally. And all the damage, the worst damage that was done was 20 years ago. I mean, we could never save that,
No.
we just.
Well, and also, there's, we can sit here and be like, oh, recycle, doesn't it, blah, blah, blah. I lived in Mexico. That shit, they're making so much damn plastic.
Sure.
And we would order food and have it delivered, and our coffee cups were saran wrapped so they wouldn't spill, and then everything was saran wrapped and everything. And I'm like,
oh, forget Mexico. Think about Trader Joe's right now. Every goddamn thing in there is
in
Think about Trader Joe's right now.
In those bubble things.
Hawaii was so big on
Go ahead.
Oh, this is it, huh? This
is Chernobyl.
The beginning of the end. Oh, the breakthrough is happening here in Santee.
Right here
For the
is
listeners, there is what sounds to be a ATV tank, some kind of military vehicle driving by.
Right outside
the studio.
The studio.
John, anything to say about that?
The wall
I don't
was
know
shaking,
anything about
everything was shaking. What does our little security camera say?
Not good.
It says
Okay.
bad.
Oh,
no,
those
I'll,
guys with guns.
No,
Oh, no.
not guys with guns. That actually would be really cool podcasting. If
we were on like the first on the scene.
First on the scene for
like,
military
probably
coup.
not. You're right.
Interesting.
Go ahead, Andy.
Military coup, she says.
And I'm backtracking to...
You're talking about plastic. Everything in Mexico is plastic.
Oh, Hawaii was so big on like use reusable straws. We have wooden forks for everyone to use.
Yeah,
we
I
use
hate that.
And then I moved to Mexico right after, and I was like, screw you and
Yeah.
all your avocado straws.
Yeah.
Your paper straws are doing nothing.
Well, and we're living this double life. The U.S., I should say, is living this double life where we have this culture where it's like, yeah, save the environment. And we're literally outsourcing all of our shit to, China and parts of, Eastern Asia where we're mass producing in factories. And China, there's no regulation. They just dump all that shit in the ocean. They're like, man, who cares? Like,
Well, yeah. And then there's like in Mexico, they burn their trash.
and it's just like happening around us, and
Right.
the U.S. is so complicit in it. But the parts that we can like feel like we have a little gold star, where we're like, oh yeah, blame us for our freaking single-use plastics. No, like I
Well,
have
there's
a
like
short fuse for that shit.
There's like the guy who invented the K cups
Yeah.
and the Keurig has like.
Oh, he's going straight to hell, right?
He openly admitted that it was like he regrets having invented it and he wishes he could go back because of how much plastic and waste they make.
Because we were in this like single-use world for decades. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
it was not like a couple decades ago where nobody even thought about it, right? Like
Sure.
there was just half the amount of people on the earth, and they were like,
the 50s,
"This
60s,
is gonna
70s
last forever," you
is the
know.
world of the TV
Yeah.
dinner, and and
Well,
we
and,
just
like-
kept making that shit for decades.
Well, like when they invented plastic, like I remember my mom saying like someone told her like one day we're gonna have like plastic water bottles and everyone's gonna have like single-use plastic water bottles, and she was like, that's dumb, why would we have that? That's not gonna happen. Like she like
Here we
fully
are.
is like, yeah, I didn't even believe that this was gonna happen, and then
But for
here
different
I am,
reasons, not
here
because
I am buying
she knew
30
the
pack.
environmental impact, just
She was
because
like,
she
that's
thought it was dumb.
She was like, why would
That's
we have
dumb.
single use? I have a glass water bottle. That's dumb.
Got a perfectly good
And then we're like, we just love convenience. Like,
Yeah.
True.
Oh,
it's
of course.
convenient. We want it to be convenient. We love convenience.
So this is a good step towards,
Huge.
I mean, I don't really know still how we're gonna fight the plastic thing, but
We're not.
I mean the energy thing is great. It's
We're
great. We're gonna
not.
have clean energy.
John is making single-use plastic with his little 3D printer.
Oh,
he's
the 3D
He's
print-
3D printing
That's why I don't
60
print anymore.
packs.
That's why I
That's
print,
why
that's
you
why I don't
quit?
print anymore. Yeah.
Wow. Can I have your 3D printer?
No, he wants it.
I don't care about the
I'm
environment.
actually gonna recycle it.
Good for
So
you. Good for you.
I'm gonna
turn it into
smash
more
it and
filaments.
take it to the dump.
There was like a thing I saw where people were turning plastic water bottles into 3D print filaments, weren't they? Like,
yeah. I thought it was kind
so
of interesting.
Get your shit together, okay?
Yeah. No,
Start
you're
making
right.
more- come
And
on.
I also thought about when we talked about 3D printing, and you guys gave me so much crap for 3D printing, and that it would be around forever. I was thinking about that there has to be a company that already exists that takes, scrap filament and
Yeah.
then remelts it down and re-puts it back into like new like remakes it into filament
There
stuff. Because I'm sure, I don't know, but I'm saying like there has to be that because
I mean, why not take all the stuff that's in the dump right now? You know how much plastic's probably in the dump? It's probably millions, if not billions, of tons of plastic. That if you took all that and just made it into shit
what do
need,
recycling centers do with the plastic? That's what I never understood.
Most of it they can't recycle.
I think they just kick
anything-
it back to
Anything that's like had like food in it, like there's so much of it that they can't actually recycle. So in Hawaii, I
Pass.
stopped recycling because I grew up in California. Obviously, we recycled a ton. You get a tax break for recycling and whatnot. But growing in Hawaii, it was I realized that in order to recycle, they have to ship it to the mainland. They have to ship it to
yeah. Who's
like
they?
like the government.
Do
They don't
it.
have a recycling. They can't.
What else do we have
they don't
going
have.
on in Hawaii? I mean,
It
come on.
causes more pollutants to freaking the ship going across the world than it does to have it.
That's what it was, huh?
Yeah,
What was it?
just a little dial, no biggie.
No biggie.
Not even a biggie at all.
But so I stopped recycling then.
Well, I hear that.
And now I hate I hate the earth, and I hate recycling, and
You're all
I
about
refuse.
gas, huh?
I love
into gas
gas,
these
single
days.
use. I refuse to use anything twice. I love the dump, love it, and I hope that we just continue to make trash, and then I'm gonna die.
Get out of it.
And my kids are gonna have to clean it
You know
up.
what?
I'm just glad we got all that on record.
It's too much.
That was
It is
good.
too much.
No, I'm a big proponent of reusable, reuse, reduce, recycle.
No, I know that about you for sure.
You
Well, John,
are
that's
too
my
much.
thing. I
John,
presented
what-
my thing. What you got? going
Elon
on?
Musk. What were you saying about that?
Oh yeah,
He's
Elon, what did he
he's
do?
no longer the richest man. I guess. I don't know.
Didn't know he was the richest man.
Oh yeah, for a long time he was.
There's a
Since
couple of people that are like dominating, like the web, like everybody's headspace these days.
Yeah.
And I think we need to be done with him, right?
Elon's done.
Elon, I think Kanye's done.
so
Kanye
okay.
needs to be done.
emotionally. I think,
Okay, there's kind of two
every
levels.
politician. Go ahead.
So there's like, from what I understand, there's only one list, I guess, but there's like people.
Fortune 500?
There's people that are really mega rich but they're not like public figures. So like,
Yeah.
there's like not when you say richest man in the world, like
Warren
I think it's more like the richest like public like figure. But again, we're talking like billions. So I guess
Hundreds of billions.
right, it doesn't really matter. And so it kind of makes sense though, because I feel like
Who's number one right now then?
Bernard
Yeah, it's someone. It's someone.
Arnault. He's the co-founder of
Bitcoin kid
of
that's still on that money.
Tesla. Hold on.
The other
hold on.
Tesla guy.
Yeah, it looks like Bernard Arnault and family, and they own like a bunch of things, obviously, but helped co-found Tesla, I guess.
He's from
is cool.
France.
Yeah. Elon took a hit with the whole Twitter thing, I feel like.
Yeah, that was pretty rough for him.
Yeah, well,
Jeff
of course.
Bezos and Bill Gates still up there.
I mean,
the
Bill Gates
Bays.
is gonna drop hard, I feel like, in the next couple of years. I think Elon took a big hit with the whole Twitter thing, like
Yeah.
buying that, and then I just think it's probably lost a lot of value, like evaluation wise. I'm sure it has gone down significantly, but I mean, maybe not. I don't know.
Pretty aggressive like moves on his part. But I don't know. I feel maybe if I was a billionaire, I'd probably start making weird moves like that too.
Yeah.
If life got so boring, I mean, that's why so many of those guys are like weird, like they're like trophy hunters in Africa. They'll go and shoot an elephant because it's like they have so much built up, testosterone, and they're just like,
Sure.
well, I gotta go be rich and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I
I
feel like
don't-
rich people start doing weird stuff like that because like, so would we, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think totally like.
Or like buy Twitter. You know what I mean? Like who just goes like, oh, I'm gonna buy Twitter, and then make a bunch of weird
Do you ever wonder,
choices?
like, if that's, I think that's only ever going to serve as a net positive, like for him and his brand, and just like, we've talked
Twitter?
him buying Twitter and like that idea, like he's now the guy that like bought Twitter.
Honestly,
like,
now that I know he has 10 kids, like, do something more productive with your life.
well, I mean, I just feel like
Some would say that's very productive. He
For the-
bought Twitter.
for the brand,
Do we have other
I
things to worry
think
about? Like your
No,
children,
that's what I'm
your
saying. He
10
doesn't.
kids?
No, he's got a whole. Talk about wife number 4. I mean, he's got like whole
Damn,
squads
true.
looking after his kids for him.
True.
Probably.
So, John, you're saying good for the brand for him?
yeah, I kind of feel like any press is good press. Like it keeps him relevant. And I know that it's a
Listen.
big purchase and it might have been a waste of money, but like forever and always in the history books, he's the guy that bought Twitter. Like what?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and then
crazy.
he like bought Twitter and then fucked it up like
Yeah.
right
Well,
away.
Sure,
my
but that
thing.
nobody
Like,
remembers the details on that.
No,
And,
everyone will be like, remember when Twitter used to be great and then it got ruined?
Yeah, whatever happened when Elon bought it? Oh yeah, it fell
Who,
apart.
Elon? Oh yeah, that
Who?
weird,
Guy.
space guy.
Space guy.
I don't know, I lost it. What weird space guy. Like this year has been such a whirlwind. I never thought that Kanye West would get canceled and that
Yeah,
Elon
he's
Musk
pretty
would buy
much done.
Twitter and that, all this stuff. What are your predictions for 2023?
Ooh, that's a good
Ooh.
question. That's a great
Predictions
question.
right now.
Question.
So when they
Thank you.
we can be like
I
The
mean,
Simpsons.
Yeah.
We called it.
Well, should we put it closer? Should we think about it and
Do it
say
in
it
New
for our
Year's?
New Year's episode? I think we have an episode coming out on the 30th.
You're right. We should.
So that's a
What the
good.
hell? Would it just squash this thing I thought of?
No, that's a great
Well, think
thing.
about it though. We gotta start thinking
That's a
about it
great
now,
thing.
right? I mean,
We're still in the retrospect of the end of the year. Okay, we're not in the looking forward yet.
I don't know.
Okay, so think about
I'll
it.
give you-
My
okay.
prediction already. One
Go
prediction.
ahead. Give us
me
one for
predict-
free. Give us
Mine
one
is
for
that
free.
I think there'll be a spin-off of the Two Sister Wives.
Yeah, well, that was a good.
That's easy.
I mean,
that's
sure.
just TV. That's not.
The fuck? Okay. Not
Annie,
good
go
enough. Not
ahead.
good enough.
Give us your
and
real
this is why
prediction.
you guys got canceled on my TikTok.
Oh, that was a good one. That
Did we
was a
get
good
canceled?
TikTok. Was
yeah.
that this year?
Oh, yeah.
Also,
I
I want to
have
touch.
thousands and thousands of people who hate you guys on my TikTok.
I'm
touch
kind of
on one
bummed
thing?
that unfortunately we missed the podcast wave.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of like slightly negative feedback.
we love
love
it.
it.
We
on
love it.
on
We
some of
feed
our
off
reels
it.
because like people are like, who are these people? Like we're giving
are
our
these
take on
people?
Kanye, and they're like, who
Dude,
are these people?
I fully cracked the code because here's why. We got a comment that was like, who are these people and why am I getting them in my feed?
oh,
And
I
you know
love
what
it.
video it was on? It was on one that was called, I titled it, Trump Walked So Kanye Could Run.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
and it's a clip
That's
from
funny.
last week
funny.
about us, talking about, your words when you have a celebrity platform, you're inciting violence, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah,
I
of
posted
course.
a clip, right? And that's what I was just like, oh, this is like a cheeky little title. I'm going to put that on there. And the algorithm doesn't make mistakes because
Yep.
the person that would find that interesting found the video and threw their opinion at it, which is, I mean, there you go. Right
There you
there.
go.
The algorithm
My
just-
favorite
it's
is how
awesome.
Ryan
Funny.
responds to all
yes,
of
I saw them. It's funny.
so
Are you
when
keeping track of that?
when my TikTok blew up of you guys calling me a hard sell, and the endless
funny.
So funny.
comments of like, take microphones away from men, like this is why men ruin podcasts. Stop having white men talk on podcasts. Their
true.
opinions don't matter. I hate men. Start your own podcast. Like it's so funny. It was
Yes,
so
yes.
funny.
So good.
And Ryan would just respond to him, and they have no idea that Ryan's one of the people in the video.
Sure.
And he would just be like, "Yeah, amen."
So
I
true.
hate men. So true.
But I've been
Preach.
doing it with the What the Podcast handle too.
So
And so
good.
somebody commented
good.
like, it was like, sorry you missed the podcast like craze.
Good,
And I was
we
like,
did.
A bummer, we missed it. Like, oh, we were so close.
We got so
just think
close, but so far.
like, it's funny. And I know,
So
like, don't
funny.
feed the trolls. I get
No,
it, but it's a lot of fun for me.
No, I think it's so interesting because I feel like what's the point of like the fact that they're commenting is like just one more step. Like,
mean-
why would you why even waste your time? Like,
Well,
you
it's
clearly think it's
projection, right?
interesting,
I'm so unhappy and upset with my boring, dull life that I'm gonna go like ruin
Oh my
somebody
gosh.
else's.
The title of
life.
this should be just their handle. Their handle name.
Shoot.
I'm sad with my, I'm just so bored with my sad life. I'm gonna ruin their fun.
At
Okay, we will be looking that
X-Wing.
up. Yeah,
64.
I don't
Why
know.
is this on my feed?
I
is
think
this?
it's so
Why am I
funny.
getting this?
I was literally like dying. So I get an email
Yeah.
because I have the What's Podcast email on my phone.
Yeah.
Every time someone comments, and I that's why when I texted you guys, it's like this particular wave of reels just brought out the worst
Yes.
type of people, like 6 or
love it.
7
and
comments.
shame on me because I've been giving them clickbaity titles, but
Sure.
it
No,
just
we didn't.
I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna stop doing it. Like that's
But
just
that's the
that's
Joe Rogan of
hilarious.
us, right? Like that's the whole
Right.
thing. It's like stating your
Well,
opinions is
okay,
how you're
let's
going
go
to get
easy
attention.
there. I mean,
Well, that's like the whole thing. Like, just state your controversial opinion.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
It's your
What
opinion.
controversial opinion do you have for us today, Annie?
were you on
Oh.
that controversial opinion episode, or was that before your time?
That might
Before.
be BA.
Go ahead, Annie. Give
My
us one for free.
controversial opinion.
No, you were definitely on that episode.
What
weren't
did you say? What did she say? I can't remember.
Oh, that college is a scam, probably.
Yes, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
college is
College
a
is,
scam.
college is a
Yes.
scam.
That was like one of your first episodes.
Yeah, college is a
Wow.
scam.
And a whole year later.
Okay, but I have predictions for
Yes,
2023.
sorry.
One
that,
prediction.
That was a whole thing, but go ahead.
whole thing. One
got back to
prediction. I was listening about it today. I think this is my government prediction.
Okay.
I think that some sort of bill is going to pass, and it's going to be
In our lifetime?
Yeah, like in this
Okay.
next year, in 2023, it's going to be brought up and it's going to have all this controversy and it's going to be some sort of like, monitoring of what the internet, what can be posted, some sort of censoring of the internet in America. That is my next.
Dangerous.
I'm gonna
prediction.
take a stance that's in stark contrast to you. I think somebody's going to introduce and get a bill passed that introduces the internet access as a right.
Okay.
I'm going to say you have complete unfiltered access, just like you have access to the library. You're going to have.
You don't have access to the library.
Sure you do.
You have to get a card. You have to have a.
It's
home.
free.
You mean like in prison?
You have to have
what
a-
you're talking about?
Yeah, you have to have
You're saying
an
homeless
address.
people? You're saying homeless people can't get library cards? Sure, they can.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I think it's
I'll look
free.
into that.
I'm pretty sure.
But you
most
have to
places.
register.
John,
Sure, but yeah.
Hit us with a prediction for the year.
Prediction.
Yeah.
Prediction for 2023,
What
just
library
one.
book you want to see? What
yikes.
2023 prediction?
He doesn't want to read it
Small
because
or
John can't
large?
read.
Small or large?
But he just wants to see it.
Yeah, no, I can't ask that of you. I'm gonna make a wild one.
Go ahead.
Ready?
John and Jordan have a kid.
Okay. Don't put that on me, okay?
That you and Cara have
can
a
you,
kid.
Can you look in the camera and say that?
My prediction is that Cara and Ryan have a kid
No,
because they're
not that
so
one.
like,
The other
we're
one.
not going to do it. We're not going to do it. They're going to have the first
Ryan's like,
kid
this is not working now.
Not only will we get pregnant, we're gonna have our first child.
in a year. Yeah.
Wow.
This time next year. Damn.
Okay, pass.
And you lose $2,000.
No,
Damn.
I'm making that money, bro, and I'm knocking
That
down
bet
Olivia's
is
door.
so. It's not happening. Like no one's paying it out. You're
I'm
not
getting
paying
that
it
money.
out.
I'm getting
and
that money.
Olivia's not paying it
I'm
out.
getting the money.
There's
Anyway,
no way.
predictions. What's your prediction,
I want to
John?
make like a wild one
I feel like
because the crazy ones.
Okay, I have one,
When
I have
you're
one.
right about it, it's like
I think Prince
awesome.
Charles is going to die.
You think so? In
Oh yeah, I don't
2023?
think he'll make it a full year in
it'll
whatever.
be too stressful for him.
Wow.
No, I
I've been
think
seeing a lot of
he's
videos
gonna.
of him.
I don't know how he's gonna die,
Assassination, you think?
but I think he's
No,
gonna die.
not assassination. But that's interesting.
That was the best.
Wow.
Tell me the camera was on the couch. Dang it. Oh, it's so good.
And demonetized.
And that's it.
We're making money.
Oh, we are.
Oh,
well, not
money's being
you,
made.
Annie, but me and John are making a lot of AdSense revenue.
Wait, Ryan.
I'm gonna say. I mean, that's kind of interesting. Like, who's gonna die this year? Do you
Yeah,
think-
we should
who's
actually
on
do
Old
that.
People Watch.
We should actually do that.
I just saw a post about like because today, on the day of this recording, is Dick Van Dyke's birthday. He's
dead, isn't
90.
he?
No, he's 97 years old.
He's on the outs.
And
He's
people in the comments were like, "Oh, okay, Death
Definitely
Watch. We're on
next.
Death Watch right now."
Death Watch. So
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I saw a picture of Betty White like right before she died, and I was like, yeah.
Well, yeah,
she's out.
the fact that also what I love about Betty White is that she was 99 and it still was kind of a surprise that she died, right?
Like, what?
We were all like, what?
Well, like the Queen was like what, like 96, 97? Like,
Yeah, that also caught me off guard too. I thought she lived longer. Only because I feel like famous people have like different medical like access
like
than
she
we
has
do.
a,
You know what I'm saying?
bunch of secret kids that she's getting stem cells from.
Are you talking about the Queen, the former Queen?
Just in general.
Yeah.
You know, but you know what I'm saying? Like
That's like a famous
like
person
rich
thing.
people, like I just assume they're gonna live longer because they got like a team of doctors going like, all right, let's keep this thing going.
What's
you know?
up? What's up?
Whereas like you and I, we're not gonna make it past freaking.
I'm gonna make a prediction
Okay.
and say that in the year 2023, this is maybe crazy, is that a congressperson will have their life attempted.
Really?
Somebody will come after a congressperson and maybe succeed.
Nancy's
Well,
gonna.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like another one of those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are getting more bold. I feel
I
like.
getting
mean,
way
it's
too
a big.
old.
It's obviously like a one in a lifetime thing for
Well, I
like
mean-
a president to get assassinated. But I feel like that's kind of the climate. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know. Go ahead, Annie.
I think
Tell me I'm wrong,
people
DC.
no people have been bold. We've seen that though. Like I was living in DC when someone tried to assassinate a bunch of Republican like congressmen.
All right, I'm gonna make a very interesting off the wall.
Okay, perfect.
Prediction.
Here it comes.
I think that Hulu is going to get absorbed or
by
closed.
Netflix. Ooh.
Yeah, I think we will not see Hulu by the
Disney.
end of next year.
Damn.
I don't know who, but
I guess that means we're